Welcome to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Andrew Bartolotta. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making an impact, empowering the good in our community and around the globe. Today, we have an inspiring guest with us. He's a man who's went from earning just $2 a day as a factory worker to becoming an elite technology consultant and business mentor, working with some of the largest names in the industry. He's been recognized as a global thought leader in AI, with mentions from President Obama and Bill Gates for his work. He's here to share his story and insights to help us all realize that anything is possible. Manuj Aggarwal, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. We're excited to have you as well. Can you share a little bit about your journey from working in that factory to becoming this elite technology consultant and business mentor?
Yeah, well, so I grew up in a small town in India, and that's where my journey started. So I started working at 15 in this factory, and uh, I basically just wanted to do something more with my life because that was really hard life. And one day I was going through some business magazines during lunch hour, and I got some inspirations from the stories of these business tycoons who have built their empires. And I wanted to see, okay, what have they done, how have they made changes in their life. And so at that point it didn't really register exactly what my next step will be, but I found myself sort of drawn towards computers and programming, and I fell in love with the whole concept of technology. And so long story short, like, I moved to North America, started working with a lot of startups, helping them build their technology, worked with Microsoft, Pearson Education, IBM on some major large global projects. So I witnessed how small companies grow, and also witnessed how large companies continue to serve their clients and grow. So and then I dove into multiple industries like real estate and education and healthcare. So I got a sense of how technology can be really used in many areas to improve human life. And obviously I was getting a lot into latest technologies like AI, blockchain. And so today I have 4 patents in artificial intelligence, and we have worked on some really impactful projects. As I mentioned, one of the projects was related to education, to help students complete their degree programs using AI. And so that project was successful. That President Obama and Bill Gates mentioned it in their speeches multiple times.
That's really fantastic. For those that, the term AI is very, I mean, 2023 has been huge in terms of AI advancements. You've
Mm,
got tools like ChatGPT and so many others that are
mm.
really just forging the way to the average consumer. For those that go, okay, I've heard the term AI, but I don't really understand what it is. What is Manuj's definition of AI?
Yeah. See, our mind is a recognition machine. So let's say if you're a child and you touch a hot stove, you will realize quickly that you don't want to do that again. And so that is a data point that is registered in our mind, and it learns the pattern, right? So now let's assume that same child is in Antarctica wearing heat resistant gloves, and there's wind chill. It's very cold out there, and now he touches the stove. It's actually going to be warm, pleasant, not hot. So now our mind starts to say, okay, there are multiple parameters here, variables, and now I need to take that into account before I make a decision. So that's a pattern that is recognized and refined. Now our mind is capable of remembering maybe 10, 20 patterns if you're really, really smart. But let's say if you're doing some really massive calculation, like predicting weather or predicting the stock market or something along those lines, now we are dealing with hundreds of millions of parameters. Our mind is just not able to understand, how to make sense of it. But machines can take all that data, and just like our mind was able to make a right decision, the machines can understand these millions of parameters and say, okay, based on all this data you have provided, this is what's going to happen. It's going to rain in 14 days. So that is AI. It's enhancing the power of human mind and ability to observe, make the observations, and sort of come up with the right solution based on that data. Does that help?
Oh yeah, I love that. I think that's a great explanation about what AI is and how people can really learn that it's not really replacing what you are thinking, but also enhancing just the
Yeah.
amount of data that you can consume through this artificial intelligence. In your opinion, what are some of the most exciting developments in AI today?
See, AI has been around for decades. We have called it with various terms, but now obviously the key thing that happened in 2022 November, ChatGPT was released, and now everyday people can actually touch it, feel it, play with it, understand what AI is. So that is the biggest development. So now we have opened the first layer of framework, meaning what? Like, when we created the internet, that is the framework on which a lot of other things started to get built, right? So e-commerce came in, and telehealth came in. The underlying framework is the internet. Now, it's the same thing that will happen with ChatGPT and other platforms like that. People will start building companies and concepts on top of it. So the exciting part is, this was only available to people with large sums of money, large corporations, who were using it. And you can see the evidence of that. Like, you can name any rich person, the richest people on the planet. They got rich very, very quickly in the last 20 years using data and AI, right? So Jeff Bezos, Amazon, Elon Musk, SpaceX, and Tesla, these are all AI companies. And so now with everyday humans getting access to this, like, the sky is the limit in terms of what new solutions will come out. So the exciting part is that now there's a platform that everybody can access it, and there's already like almost like 200 new solutions coming out every day today, based on this platform. So that's the exciting part.
It really is exciting, and I love seeing your Twitter content and so many others on Twitter that are really showcasing all of the latest AI tools and prompts and ways to use it. What would you say are some of the most practical ways that individuals and businesses can utilize AI to really achieve exponential growth?
Yeah. See, right now, when we talk about AI for everyday people, I will just focus on Chat GPT because that is the most relevant. So I ask people to do two things. One is ask better questions, because see, the thing is, we are all looking for something in life, success or money or whatever. But the thing is, we don't realize we get all that what we want when we help other people solve their problems. So whether you are a profession in a professional career, whether you're running a business, it's all about serving other people. How do we serve other people is by understanding what people want. And AI is the first time in history that we can start to brainstorm with AI about that. Before this, we had to go talk to hundreds of people, thousands of people, to understand what do they actually want so that we can serve them. But now you can start asking questions to AI, and you say, let's say you are serving young mothers in their 30s. You can start asking AI, hey, I'm living in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm serving 35-year-old mothers. What are their pain points? What will they like me to serve? Like, what kind of services can I provide them? What kind of help I can provide them? What is going on in their mind? All of these questions you can start asking AI. The next thing I tell people is start telling better stories, because when you understand what are the questions in your audience's mind, you have to share your information in such a way that becomes memorable for them. And generally, our minds don't remember facts and figures. So if I come here and say, this was invented in 1998, it's about $10 billion. So all these facts will impress somebody right now, but they're not going to remember any of it. Rather, if I tell you a story that, I grew up in India, this is what happened, blah, 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 that story is something that is memorable for everyone. So we are not good storytellers as humans. We have not been taught communication and storytelling in our school system. But with AI now, you can start telling better stories and become more memorable. So you can start answering, getting the questions that people have for you, and then using storytelling, you can start answering those questions, become memorable, relevant, and all that. If you start just doing that for 1 week, you will just be amazed at how your life starts to transform.
It really is amazing when you utilize these AI tools like ChatGPT. I've utilized it for several different things, even from personal standpoints where, I have it's silly, but like, oh, I have these items in the pantry in the fridge. Like what can I make to feed my
Yeah,
family? Boom.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
like, what are some ways that we can use ChatGPT to utilize engaging volunteers for a nonprofit or government organization and such? And like, boom, there goes. It comes up with stuff instantaneously. And I love
exactly.
the storytelling aspect too, because that is huge. And it really will help you as a business owner help tell your story and your products and services. Talk a little bit about you're big on the role of neurodiversity and your success in the tech industry. Talk about the thoughts on the role of neurodiversity in your success in this industry.
See, neurodiversity is key because we deal with large problems. Large problems need innovative solutions, and innovative solutions need different ways of thinking. And different ways of thinking comes not from going to a particular university, going to a particular college, but it comes from different life experiences, growing up in different parts of the world, growing up in different economic, socioeconomic climates. Having those rich life experiences, when you put those people together and you ask them to solve a problem, everybody will come from a different angle. Everybody will have a different perspective. Somebody will say, oh, this is the price is too high for for this population. Somebody will say this is too difficult for people to use. So all of these things, when you take into account, the solution is going to be 100 times better than, let's say, if you put 10 people from Harvard from the same class, they will be thinking the exact same thing all the time. But if you put 10 people, one from Australia, one from Africa, one from India, one from North America, one from Canada, they will all bring so many different ideas to the table that when you put them together, it will be just a marvel, a masterpiece of a solution compared to when you work with like a homogeneous type of group.
I think that's very important because I love that there's power in collective impact, and also when you bring in diverse minds together, and AI will really help deliver that to multiple different sectors. There is a lot of misconception and some hesitation when it comes to AI for business owners, for those in specific industries thinking, well, my job's going to be obsolete, which I don't believe is the case. I think it'll be enhanced. But what would you say are some of the misconceptions commonly about AI that you think business owners should be aware about when considering its implementation?
Yeah, yeah. So the very first one is, we have all been sort of scared by Hollywood movies like Terminator. The first misconception is AI is going to take over and it's going to become sentient and jealous and sort of ambitious. So I tell people, let's just work on humans becoming more self-aware and sentient before we worry about AI, because even humans are not there yet. Um, Second thing is job loss. Yes, there's going to be disruption in the economics. There's going to be some jobs will be replaced. Now, we have gone through these kind of technological revolutions before. So when the car was invented, there was worry about what will happen to horse cart industry workers, right? But people who upskilled, they got better jobs, they got more high paying jobs. So the idea is not that we should be scared my job will be taken away, but the idea is to, how do I turn this challenge into opportunity that can really help me multiply my standard of living, my income. And I can tell you confidently, if people start embracing AI today, in 3 years, definitely they will be earning at least 5 times more than what they are earning today. And the reason is because you have seen this again and again. When the internet came, anybody who started a website, they progressed earlier. Then the mobile, the when iPhone came, anybody who's launched an app, they made tons of money. So the idea is to ride the wave early and then take advantage of it.
And I think what's really unique now too is that because we have tools like the internet and social media, now people are acting on this AI earlier than they would with other technologies in the past because we are subjected to it a lot more. What are some of the most promising AI apps that you see in the marketplace that we should consider either investing over the next few years or should be looking out for to implement in our businesses?
See, in my opinion, there's going to be two types of apps that will be prevalent. One will be more consumer focused. So, for example, OpenAI is already implementing plugins for ChatGPT. There's going to be applications built on top of it. So the big one, the big ones that I can like, I won't share any names in terms of specific apps, but I will say more sensory experiences like Midjourney is using AI to create graphics. There's going to be apps which can create music. There's going to be apps which may be able to create full TV series, movies. So these are going to be really, really impactful because they will disrupt massive industries overnight, right? So look out for those consumer ones. And then on the enterprise level, there's going to be apps where it is going to start optimizing workflows for white collar jobs, where so blue collar, I mean, so-called blue, I don't want to like categorize them, but so-called blue collar jobs have been automated for a while now. And now with AI, there's going to be applications in the enterprise which will sort of optimize or automate white collar jobs. So Microsoft is already implementing a tons of these features in their Office suite. Google is coming out with their own version of AI. So you can start to expect these AI tools helping specific industries. And then the next wave, in my opinion, will be AI for doctors, AI for accountants, AI for lawyers, which will be optimized for those professions, right? And the ultimate AI will be hyper personalized. Like, it will know exactly who I am, my life history, and it'll be like extension of me, giving me advice on everyday things or whatever. So that's sort of the roadmap that I think we will uncover as we go through this.
That's super interesting, and I love that you're able to sort of put those in silos and how they sort of also work together. And it makes total sense that there will be some buckets that are just for consumers, just for those specific industries that are related to those services like lawyers and doctors and stuff. So that's super cool to see and watch out for. And what puts a smile on your face when you look at the opportunities you've created for millions leveraging these technologies?
Well, the thing that satisfies me is that I can write a piece of code on my computer and throw it out into the world, and it can help people, fix their joint pains, or I can help a student complete their degree program or learn faster, or it can help one shipment of goods to go from one place to another safely and on time. Like, that's just massive, because I have not had to do like any physical work, like in order to push that truck forward, but just writing a few lines of code. And that is the magical thing, like and that line of code, I don't need to write millions of time. I just write it once, and then it affects millions of people. That's the power of the internet. That's the power of technology, that one human being can do that. And imagine now, so many people get involved using AI in solving these problems, because with AI now, you don't even need to write code, because you can just tell, hey, this is the problem I'm trying to solve, so help me solve it. And so people who were constrained by not having background in technology, programming, whatever, they can participate in solving big problems. So the exciting part is that, like, so many big problems in front of us are, climate change, cancer, all of these things. Now, with the collective effort, collective consciousness, and with the help of AI, we'll be able to solve, like, in a much faster, much more beautiful way, right?
Yes. Yeah, that would bring a smile to my face too. That's cool. And I love the term collective consciousness because that really is at the heart of what AI is and the power of it and technology as well. Manuj, where can people go to learn more about you, your work, follow your efforts, hire you for consulting work? Where can they go to learn more?
Yeah, you can go to my website, Manuj Aggarwal, my first name, last name.com, or connect with me on LinkedIn and just tell me you heard me on City Current Radio, and how can I help you if you need me to speak to your group, or if you're looking to implement AI in your life and business, and you want to talk to somebody like me, please get in touch.
Well, thank you so much for the work that you are doing to really transform lives through code and AI and technology. It's fascinating, and I love the work that you're doing. I love following you on social media, and I really appreciate all of the insights that you've given for our audience today to really understand the importance of AI and how it can, how they can use it to work for the collective consciousness in their industry. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thanks a lot.